This conference will now be recorded.
Right, guys. So we are talking about security in MongoDB. So securing any product is a very important point of administration. We have to, like secure the product against unauthorized people, as well as product must be secured against the hacking as well. If you don't enable the security, Mongo can run comfortably without security. The thing is, if you run it, if anybody is able to hack your network, he can hack the Mongo. So simple. So if it is security enabled, it will be another layer like they have to hack. So it won't happen generally. So the better thing is you have to enable the security in all Mongos, production Mongos. Pre-prod a little bit of fine, but production, yes, you definitely have to enable the security. So how did we do that? So cat etc, and if you look at the config file, we enabled one extra parameter. Okay, uh, this security authorization enable. That's it. This is the extra tag is enabling the security. When this is enabled, you must have an existing user with a root privileged account, root privileges account. So we talked about yesterday how we can actually do this, right? I discussed yesterday. So how we can actually do this kind of experiment, right? We talked about the whole procedure, right? How we can enable the security, what is the procedure we will follow. Then we talked about how we can create a user, right? Authentication methods, finding all the existing users and finding all the built-in roles, right? I sent this notepad actually. Just a quick recap if you want to recap kind of. These are these are all actually admin database data like roles we can give it to the users. And in the user database, you don't have same set of roles that exist basically. You have a DB admin, DB owner. These are the main discussions we're going to do today. DB or DB admin, DB owner, read and read write, user admin. So these are the main roles we will give it to the users basically. Other than this, we don't give any other role to user. We don't. There is no point of questioning like giving a extra role to any user who is actually other than DBA. They should not have, hold more permissions unnecessarily because they can damage it if required. So now, then we see creating a user, right? How do we create a user? And if you wanted to see who connected to the system, we can verify using this, and it will also tell you the overall roles and all, right? This is what we have done yesterday, guys. Granting the roles, extra roles, revoke roles. Let's discuss further. Okay, let's progress. So where were we actually? How do we enable the security on Mongo? And how we can authenticate to Mongo, right? This is what we discussed. And user and roles, like we created adding the role to the user. We did this, right? This is where we need to start. Modify the existing user password. Okay. So now let me connect to Mongo. Can I connect like this? Actually, I can connect, but the thing is, port is different. So Mongo port. Okay. If I do this, am I authorized to do anything now? No. Why? Because I'm not authenticated. I don't see any database. So by default, you will connect it to, even though security enabled in Mongo, you can connect to Mongo when you use a server name and all. But where you connect, you will connect to test database. In test database, we don't keep anything. So ultimately, you don't do anything. Though he's connected, he cannot do anything. When security is enabled, he can connect to Mongo, but just like a connectivity, he can connect to the test database. Other than that, he cannot do anything at all, basically. Okay. So then I have to use admin to authenticate myself, right? So use admin db.auth. We talked about this yesterday. Or else when we are connecting itself, we can authenticate using the command line itself. That also I discussed both the ways. And we'll do both as we move on today. Today is I can finish the security today. So now I'm giving the password. If it is authenticated, it will tell 1. If it is not authenticated, authentication error 0. That is what it will tell. So now if I go and see the database show DBs, now I can see it because I am authorized guy to see it. This way you can connect. Or else other way around, how do I connect? We talked about that also. Mongo port, right? Port 27018 and username Biren. Password, just give it P and don't give the password. It will ask to enter the password. Okay. And then authentication database. Don't give this password. If you wanted to hide your password, don't give it. Authentication database admin. This is what you have to give it. So if I give this one, it is asking the password. See, enter password. If you give the password here, someone else can see it. That's not good, right? That's not good. So you wanted to hide that password. Now it is connected. So I can do the show DBs because already I'm authenticated through command line here itself. The first case was I entered into Mongo, then authenticated. Here I am doing authentication when I'm connecting itself. So either of the thing is okay. Whichever is looks good to you, just follow it. As simple as it is. Next, changing the user password. First, I'll create a user quickly. Let's do it. So where I am now, test use admin. By default, you enter into the test only. Show users. If you wanted to find the users, show users. See, these two users exist. If one more command I talked about, get users. Get users. This will also get the all the user information in the database. Now I'm going to create another user quickly. db dot create user. Okay. I'm going to create in a different database. Let's do it. You can create a user in any database, not only in the admin. So dbs use lab database. Okay. db dot create user. Okay. This is a minimum user. Example, I'll keep it as Santosh. And the password, I'll keep it Ravi itself to not to confuse. Okay. And here roles. What are the roles I wanted to give it? So roles. First, where I wanted to give the role, actually, I have to decide. I'm sitting in the lab. I can give the permissions on any of the database. It is possible. So Mongo is a messy security model we have. We can give the permission one database. You can sit any user database, give the permission to any other user database. That can be done. So I'll give in the same database. Role. What is the role I wanted to give to him? Is a read. Next, I wanted to give him is on DB lab itself. So now I'll execute this one. So this will create the user, right? Now Santosh user got created and the password is this. Now let's connect with Santosh. When he is connecting, where he created on the lab database, he has to authenticate against the lab, not against the admin. So Mongo port 27018 user Santosh. Is it small or big? What did I keep? Small. Case sensitive. It is a case sensitive. You have to follow same. I don't use the password. I'll just make it authentication. Database lab only, right? Yeah, lab. So you can connect basically. So I'm giving the password. Is connected. Show DBs. You can only see that database. Is not authorized to see any other database. What you can do within this database, basically, DB again test. You have to switch it to lab, and you can see the collections if there are any. Other than that, you cannot do anything. Just reading the collection data. That's it. db.class.find. You can read. You cannot update anything because you got only read permissions. Now I wanted to change Santosh password. Okay. I've given Ravi at the rate 1234. I'll give test at the rate 1234 if I wanted to do. So for some reason, user forgot the password. You have to reset the password. That we do as an admin. It's a usual case people do ask. So that's what this slide is talking about. Modify the password for an existing user. To modify the password of existing user or a database, you must have the change any password permission on the database. This is the permission you need to have. Connect to MongoDB with the appropriate privilege. Anyway, see, as a DBA, you don't talk about the privilege for yourself. You will have full rights anyway. Okay, you'll have a root privilege. You can do anything basically on the machine. The following procedure uses the my user admin created enable. See, it is creating the user first. Okay, correcting it. So if it is example, if it is up to the version 2.0, 2.x actually version 2.x I'll call it as. If Mongo version is 2.0, 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, this is a command. You change the password. 3.0 onwards, the command is changed. Update user, you have to use it. Update user, you must use this option. So if I'm trying to use db.change user password, it will not detect that syntax because it's a db version is 4.0. That command is actually 2.0, 2. Version command. db.change user password. So I can just use Santosh. Let's see. Let's give a try. What it says. Okay. Is it need to be in code? Okay. Anyway, I'll do it. So password. I want it to make it as a test at the rate 1234. Is it? Just a minute. I have to keep in the floor bracket. You don't accept this syntax. This syntax is actually for 2.0 version, 2.0 versions. It is saying that this is option. This is what it is. It will throw it. It should change the password, but it's not doing it. But do you have a different command for 3.0 and higher? Update. You see that update password? Update user. Okay. Generally, very rarely we do this, but anyway, whatever it is, you need to aware of. Like people do come to us asking they wanted the password reset. It is usual case, yes. Not too regular, but yes, we do it as a DBA. Santosh. Okay. Here I wanted to change it to test at the rate 1234. Right? What did you said? Okay, okay, got it. Actually, these security related commands, even when you browse up, they don't come actually, the user creation and all. This must goes in the floor bracket. What it is saying? Okay, I did twice this. Yeah, you have to refer, guys. You don't remember every command, right? It happens. What it is saying? Updating user PWT at the wrong type. Expectation. It is saying actually. Updating user failed. PWT had the wrong expected string found object. This is it, right? Update user. Am I using the correct one? Okay, I'm following the change user. It won't work with the higher versions, guys. Change user password won't work. Change user won't work. Update user. I have to use update. This is a confusion if you are using the older version, new version. It happens. So, Santosh. I'll get this note anyway. Tosh, and I'm going to make this under. Right, it got updated. Good enough. So I'll write a note. Or else you want me to write like this. I can write. Where did we ended our class? This is where we ended, right? I'll give them updating existing user password. I'll just keep this as a note. Why? Because if you are like you need to aware of maybe it can be interview question, so I just wanted to keep both the formats. See, for Mongo 2.x, 2.x means it will follow 2.0 up to 2.0 up to 2. Versions, up to 2 versions, 2.x versions. 2.x version means 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, 2.0, 2.4, 246 up to that versions. You have to use the this change user password. 3.6 onwards. Okay, keep this thing in mind. Update user. So this is empty password. Don't do this. db.update user username password. This is how you update the password for the user. So this thing can be into your question. Just keep in mind. Now I change the password for this guy, right? So log off. See clear. I'll just go with the same command again. I'll enter the test. If not, let's enter the password. Why it is coming with it? What? I'm giving the enter, right? What is doing like that? What happened to this? Something happened. Just a minute. I'm just giving the enter. It is giving something else. Right. So here, I'm going to give the Santosh password. We can give it to just to show that I'm using the updated password. Password is test at the rate 1234. It is connected. See, show DBs. Where is connected actually? Sorry, show DBs, right? Show DBs. Lab, but he connected to test only. Use lab. So this way, you can change the password. If someone is asking, you can change the password. Updating the password. Next, guys, creating the user. We have seen update user. We have seen drop user. If you wanted to drop someone, you can drop. So show users. So let me go and create some users, guys, for this. Where I am right now, use lab, and show users. How many users we have? Only one. Santosh right now. Lab.santosh. So I'll create some users intentionally to talk about this, right? So I'll just pick up the syntax for quick creation. Two things we can do with this. Okay, I'm creating Lata user. It won't come. That's a big problem with this security command. You cannot, even if you give the port, the command will not come. I need intentionally some extra users on this one. I'll tell you why. All right. What happened? Is already exist. Okay. Show users. So if you see Santosh, Konda, and Anita, there are three people are there in the database. You wanted to drop particular user, db dot drop user. This is the command. Okay, and just give the username in the current database. I wanted to drop Konda example. Gone. That's gone. The show users. The user is not there anymore. Okay. Just it is simple command. Drop user username. That's it in the current database. If you go to different database, the conda user does not exist, it'll throw the error. The user does not exist to delete the user kind of. So that must be known. So deleting the user, deleting the existing user from the database where exists, from the database where the user exists. Why? Because if it does not exist, it will throw the error. These are regular operations we do, very regular. The security related, creating, dropping, changing the passwords, giving the roles, all that. Right. Next, what next in the slide we have? Drop all users from database. You wanted to drop every user that exists in the database. You don't do generally, but we have the command we need to see. Where I am connected to, basically, I'm connected to lab. And what are the users there in this database? If you see, sorry, show users. We have Santosh we have in the lab, we have Lata we have Anita. Three users we have. Now db dot run command. Okay, this is what we do. Don't run this unnecessarily. Drop all users from database. What was it? Drop all users from database. That's correct. From database one. Generally, you're not supposed to, but I'm doing it. So it is, see, how many, three people are gone. Now, if you see, show users, no users will be there. All will be lost. See, all users. So this is also, command you need to know. Dropping all users from the current database. Right. What next? Grant roles to user. I did already yesterday. Anyway, I'll do it quickly if you want to. I don't pick up the note. Why? Because the note is given yesterday already. Somewhere I given. Right, see? Grant and revoke. Both I have talked about. Quickly I'll do it if you wanted to see it. So again I'll create the user. tp.run command. Just copy that one. I'll just pick up the syntax case again. So again I'll create some users. Fine, this is enough. So now I wanted to see there is only read role is given to the user Tilak. I wanted to give some more role. So you have to use it. db dot grant roles to user, grant roles to user, and what is the username? You have to mention that. It is Tilak. It must match case sensitive. Tilak. What roles you wanted to give basically? Okay. Role. I wanted to give him read write role. And which database you wanted to give it? db dot lab. Where it went wrong after the command user Tilak. Okay, this is not required. That means mostly this is not required, I guess. Where does it went wrong? It is open here. Property missing. User Tilak. Good enough. And it is open square bracket role read write db colon. Looks good actually. Grant roles to user. Let's see. That is what it is. Okay, username no need to mention. Come on. This user no need to mention, just username is enough. Right, it is done. So now show users. You go and check Attila got the extra role. Read right now. Extra read write. It's like that. Okay. So this is a where we grant role. Revoke roles from user the same way what we have done. So read write and read does not make any sense. Why? Because read write is given. Read write it has a read in it already. So this explicit read is not required. I want to take that role from that user. So db dot revoke roles from user. It is similar syntax again. There is no difference in it. First, from which user you wanted to take the permission and what role you have to take. First square bracket and flower bracket, then role. Role is read. I wanted to take out. On which database you want to take lab. Right. It is done. Show users again. So this is how it is. This is how it is. So now is this still connected? I'll clear the screen. So actually again, if I do this, will it connect? What do you think? I changed the password, right? I changed the password. Again, I destroyed the user and then recreated. I kept with Ravi. Ravi at the rate 1234. What? Authentication failed. What is the password I created? Ravi at the rate lab only. Santosho capital letter. It all matters, guys. Security. This is a case instance. Mongo port user SSH password
I
authentication.
think there is no N is missed. SATOSH, not
Oh, is
N.
it? Oh, that's correct, Satosh. Oh, sorry for that. Don't mind. Right. SAN, right? SA. Right, that's correct. Very good catch. So now, what he can do, basically, what he can do if you see what role he have on the database. Let's see, I mean, I'll finish and then talk about, I'll conclude this. Revoke roles user also we've seen. User info, just user information will give nothing much to worry about that command. Let's talk about this. role-based access control. This already we talked about. Next, these slides are important for our discussion, especially each role I'm going to show practically. So these slides are important. Let's quickly read out this. A user is granted on one or more roles that determines the user access to the database and resources and operations. What are the permissions you are giving to the user on which database? Based on that, he can perform the operations on particular database. Outside of the role assignment, the user has no access to the system. See, if he is given read, he can only read. And what database is given? That database only. Other database he cannot see. That is what it is. Wherever the role is given, whatever the permission is given, based on that, he will do it. Other than that, he cannot do anything. MongoDB does not enable the access control by default. We had to enable it, that we talked about already. A role, a role grants privilege to perform the specified action on a resource. Each privilege is either specified explicitly in the role or inherited from the another role or both. See, if you give one role, the one role will make you do multiple actions: insert, update, delete, everything you can do. If you give a read write, it is inheriting all the permissions. You want it to restrict to one insert only, you don't do anything in the whole system. You have to go with the custom role. How do we create the custom role? Also, we'll see today. Privilege consists of specified resource and action permitted on the resource. Of course, what you can do, what is given. Resource is a database collection, set of collections or the cluster. If the resource means anything, guys. It can be a document, it can be collection, it can be anything. Anything is a resource. If the resource is a cluster and affiliated actions affect the state of the system rather than a specific, these are all useless anyway. An action specify the operation allowed on the resource for available action. These are all crap theory. Don't worry. Let's talk about this. This is something important. Built-in roles. So these are the built-in roles we have to clearly know in and out of it, because this is what we give that to the user and this is what you will be asked to know about it. Read means you can only read. You cannot do anything. It is straightforward. Provides the ability to read the data on all non-system collections and the following system collections: system.indexes, system.js, sys.dot namespace collection. This you can read, but other system collections you cannot read it, though with the read permissions. Like system master database, you have system.user, system.roles. There are different collections we have. That is for the admins only, not for the users. Read write. Read write is very dangerous. Dangerous means with the read write privilege, you can do anything. Before I talk about read write, I'll talk about this. DB admin. What does DB admin can do? Let's give the role. We'll pick up one user and give that role and play with it practically. Okay. I'll come back to read write again. I'm not finished yet. Read anyway, I don't want to talk about that. This is just read, nothing else you can do. The other things will vary one to other. DB admin. What DB admin can do? Let's practically visualize. So grant roles to come on. Grant roles to Santosh. What we have? Read only. So I'll give a DB admin. Sorry, I can update the user, right? Quickly, I'll try to do it. Is it just update the password? Just the password, I guess. We cannot update the user. Let's give it a try. Just a minute, guys. If I create a username as wrong, can I update the user also? No, I guess it'll find the user and change the password. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. Which is fine. I'll type as it is. SATUH. Because it will find the user, then only it will change the password. If it doesn't find, it will throw the error. So instead of read write, I'll give read write is given. It should not be read write. To check the DB admin, it should be read only. Then I'll take the roles. Revoke role, read write. Okay. Oh, Santosh. I'm talking about Santosh, right? Tilak. Any of the user, fine. Then grant roles to confused actually with the role. I'm going to take DB admin. DB admin from the lab database. To whom? Santosh. And user read permission at the moment. Now show users. Santosh got the DB admin. What Santosh can do now? So show collections. Where he is actually. Sorry. He must enter into the lab because that is where he got the rights. Show collections. If you wanted to read db.class.find, you can read because you got the read permission. If you wanted to create a collection, you can create a collection because he's a DB admin. DB admin create the collection, you can drop the collection. It is possible. So what I'm going to do, lab is a database name itself, right? The class collection I'm trying to create already exists over it. Class is already there. Oh, sorry, but I can use class 10 something, whatever it is. He created a collection. Who? Santosh. So if you see, class 10 is created. Can he insert the data? He created good enough, but can he insert the data? Let's try. He is not authorized to insert the data or update the data. Data level manipulations, you cannot do it. Only you can create a drop and see the execution plans if you wanted. And that's all you can do. Very limited operations with the DB admin. So not authorized on the lab database to execute insert. Why? You got only DB admin role. DB admin role. You cannot do any manipulations, update, insert. It is not possible with this role, but you can drop the collection if you wanted. Class dot drop. You can do it. You can drop a collection. It is possible. So collection got dropped. So with a DB admin, what a user can do maximum, you can create a collection, you can drop a collection. And also you can see the execution plan if he wanted to. Testing, find. I'm just wanted to see the explain. Execution plan means we know this. You can see the execution plan if you wanted. Create the collection, drop the collection, see the execution plans. And you can see the indexes also if you wanted, I guess. db dot testing. Get index. You can see the indexes. Yes, you can see the indexes. But you can read the data also. You can see the indexes. You cannot manipulate the data with that role. Okay. You can see the index. You can do the db reindex also. I feel. Let's do it. Class testing. Yes, you can do it. Reindex is done actually. Okay.
Ravi,
Number
yeah.
of index was.
Sorry,
Mhm.
sorry, quick question. So can you give who am I? Like, sorry. So you're saying that Santosh is performing all these activities, right, with user?
Mm, mm.
So how do I know? Like, sorry, I think I missed some in the middle. So how do I know whether this is
So,
Santosh is doing it now?
we have one command to see that db.run command. This was discussed yesterday, same question, but anyway, I'll quickly show this. Connection status. This is what you have to do. Connection. Who is authenticated? Who is doing this action? Santosh authenticated. Santosh got these rights and is doing these actions.
Okay, okay. So
This
like,
way you can find the
yeah,
who connected to the current. This is whose session it is. Current session. You have to run this command to find.
can you keep in these in the notes? You're giving
Yeah, I
notes
did.
today?
I did. Yesterday it was discussed actually. If you see the yesterday's discussion where, all right, this here, finding the current user details and roles associated with the user, we can see use this command, db.run command, who is connected and what are the roles he is having it. I kept
Sure.
in the yesterday class, yeah. Right. where are we? Drop user and run command drop all user. Then what we were talking about? Roles. We are talking about the
Indexes.
role. DB admin role. So DB admin. I have written some notes already. I'll copy paste at the end of it. Somewhere I have written notes right here. Here I'll keep it. See, DB admin with a DB admin role, one can create and drop collection, but not allowed on modification collection. You can run the profiler, generate the execution plan. Come on. You can run the profiler and generate the execution plan, and also can manage the indexes. That's it. You can do the DB admin. You cannot do the manipulations. User admin. Let's see what is in the list. DB owner, user admin. Let's talk about the user admin, then DB owner, then I'll come back to the read write. That way we can conclude this role better. Okay. First, I'll use it user admin. So these are all very important roles. So is Santosh a DB owner? No, he's not a DB owner. So I'm going to make him a user admin. If he is a user admin, he can himself make a DB owner. User admin means what? He can manage all the users. He can give any role to anyone. User admin is very dangerous because he himself can take the rights. He himself can give the rights. Anything he can do it to anyone or himself, both. See, if you see, control Santosh is having a read and DB admin role on the current database and the lab. Okay. Now I'm granting a role to him. Grant role to user. What role I'm going to give? Let's see, capital, right? Sorry, capital. The role. This is Mongo is little, these roles are different. In RDBMS, things won't be like this. Role. I'm giving a user admin. On which database? DB lab. Right, it is done. Show users. If you see, you got the user admin. Who? Santosh. Now Santosh basically, if you see this connection status, his role is detected. User admin. Good enough. If he does he have the DB owner rights? DB owner is a superior permission on the database. The Santosh does not have a DB owner, but he is a user admin. User admin means any permission he can give it to anyone within that database. So Santosh is himself is trying to give the role. Like let's do this. So DB dot show collections. Let's do this. Now if he is trying to insert a new data into testing, okay, insert. If I'm trying to insert something, it will is not authorized. Why? Because you don't have the rights, not authorized. So he got realized that I don't have rights, but I have the rights to give the rights myself. That is called not only himself, he can give the rights to anyone. I'll show that as well. So now db dot grant roles. He himself is giving the roles. It is possible because that role is like that. What is giving is giving a DB owner directly. That is one of the superior role on the database. So role DB owner on the lab database. He himself is giving the rights. That is a bad thing with the DB user. Now it is done. If you see that connection status, he will get the DB owner also. As he got the DB owner, he can do the insert. Previously, the insert was failing, right? It was gone. Anyway, I'll quickly do it. He can do anything. Absolutely he can do anything because he got the DB owner privilege. DB owner, nothing can be stopped on the DB owner because he can do anything on the particular database. Now db.testing, not insert. You need to know this consequences. See, inserting, he can do anything actually. He's a DB owner means he can do anything on the database. That is a superior role on the database. So user admin is something. If you see this user admin provides the ability to create and modify the roles. Let's do this again quickly. So I wanted to create one user, another user. Who is creating? Santosh is creating. db.create user. It should be roles. Square bracket within that floor bracket. Role read. You can do on the only on the lab because you got the rights only on the lab, not another database. DB. Right. He created a user called Karthik, who Santosh actually. He wanted to make DB owner Santosh also. We can do anyone, any permission database under his control if he got the user admin. Because user admin implicitly you are giving all rights to the user DB owner also. Why? Because he himself can give that role and can do anything. That's not good. That role you never give it to anyone. He's giving the DB owner rights to Karthik. Where it went wrong. Roles is not required because grant roles itself is calling a role. Right. Now show users. You can do the show users on this database generally. See this? Where is this Karthik? See, Karthik got created. He got the DB owner rights as well. So now he's doing the show users because he got the user admin role, a DB owner role, both. What I'll do, I'll go and take his permission out. User admin DB owner. And if you wanted to verify like this, one user permissions db.get user, and this is how you check the user particular user permissions you wanted to check. You can check using this way. Tilak example. Particular user privilege is able to do it because he got the DB owner, he got the user admin. So I'll take out permission from him. Revoke roles from user. Here within this, I'll take both the roles at a time. I can take it. Two roles, two floor brackets. What are the roles I want to take from him? First is user admin. On which database? Lab. I want to take another role also from him. DB owner on lab database. Gone. So let me write this also in the notes. Removing multiple roles from particular user at a time. multiple, not all. You can use this. Okay. Now go and check what these permissions are there. Show users. If you check Santosh user, he got only DB admin read. Now the previously was doing the show users and all that. Can you do that now? Show users. You cannot. Can you check the get user particular user rights? No, he's not authorized anymore because permissions I have taken out. So user admin means it's indirectly you're giving the full rights to the user to do anything on the database. Provides the ability to create and modify the roles and users on the current database. Since user admin role allows users to grant any privileges to any user, including themselves. That is what I said. The role also indirectly provides the super user access to either to a database or scoped to admin the cluster. See, if you are giving the user admin in the admin database, you are the admin on all database almost. Admin database can map the rights to every database basically. So user admin, see, in the real world, maximum read and read write. That's it. We don't touch any other roles to project people in the production. We don't touch. We don't touch any other roles. Sometimes we'll give a DB owner. Why? Because they wanted to manage the everything. Sometimes we give the backup role. Sometimes we give the restore role in the pre-prods, not in the production. Production, no one do restores, backups, and all that. No one is authorized except DBA. So permissions should be absolutely restricted to what? Read and read write. That's it. Generally, read write is also dangerous. Let's finish that part. Read write. So now we understood everyone what is DB admin, what is user admin. Say something quickly. Is it clear?
Yes, yes, Ravi.
Yeah,
Yes,
DB
in
owner.
RDMS,
Yeah,
yes,
thank you.
yeah, in RDMS, I think admin is the highest privilege, right?
Right, kind of, yes.
Yeah, here, DB is the highest privilege, right?
Right, that's correct. IS privilege. You can do anything basically, provides the ability to perform administrative activities in the database. This role combines the privilege granted by read, write, DB admin, user admin, everything together. So you can do everything, all. Read, write means all collection level, creating, dropping, and everything you can do, even modification, all that. And DB admin, you can create the collection, you can do the rebuilding index, reorganizing, rebuild, only reorganize, we don't have execution plans and all that. User admin, you can give the permission to anyone. So all together is a DB owner, basically. Let's come back to the read write. Let's verify the read write is also equally bad. Why? Because you can manipulate all the collections and you can drop. That is a big challenge here. So what privilege Santosh have? Let's see. He has a DB admin. I'll also take out DB admin also, just to show this. Roles from now we go and check. He himself verifying his permission. Read only. Now I'm giving him read write. Just instead of revoke. Okay, it is given. Read. Oh, sorry. What did I give again? Read write I wanted to give. Right. Now he can verify what he got. So he got the read write. Read write does a lot of things. DB dot. Okay. First show collection. Let's do it. Show collections. db dot. I'm creating a new collection. Create collection. Directly can create, I guess. Let's see. Cloud example. He created the collection, right? One thing is created. I'll justify all his actions. db dot cloud dot insert. I'll enter 2 3 cards just to show this. Who is doing all this is done by Santosh. Okay, so be careful. This is something you need to know because this is the permission we give it to the users basically. 2 records are there. So he created the collection, he inserted the data, and is reading it basically. He wanted to update, he can do it. Okay, update. Update what? Its name. We update to Ravinder. It is done. So she updated the or he updated the data. See, you see that Ravinder. It was Lata. It is to Ravinder now. Now he wanted to remove one record if you wanted to. Okay, db dot cloud dot remove. Remove is actually a DML operation anyway. Delete kind of. That's number one. Record is removed. What else you can do? At last, deleting a collection. db dot testing dot drop. It is done. Can you see the execution plans? Let's see this. Find, explain. You cannot actually. Oh, you can see that execution plan also. You got the DB admin also if this is the case. Really? DB dot get indexes. Hmm. This is enough for them. Absolutely enough. If this is also is doing it, then this read write is enough for most of the people. Reindex. Okay, reindex is not doing it, but you can list out the indexes. You can see the execution plan also with the read write. So the maximum privilege you can give it to user is read write. Read write is giving almost all privileges. Almost all means as a project guy, what he can do, he can create a collection, he can drop a collection, he can modify the collection if you wanted. He can do all the manipulation operations. You can see the execution plans. So that's more than enough. He cannot create the users, other users that cannot be done. Reindexing is also not authorized, right? You can see the indexes, existing indexes. That is also something good. But you cannot see other users details anyway. Show users, you cannot do it. Who are exists in the database. You can only you can do his job. That's it. His job means whatever you wanted to do. Like you wanted to create a collection, drop collection, insert, delete, update, everything he can do if he wanted to. Is it clear or not? Say something. Read rate is a very like high privilege, but still we give it in the production also. We'll give it sometimes. Generally 90% read entertain read only in the production. Some cases senior developers will have they do request this with approvals will give it, but not to all. Read write is also not to all. Mongo like it the permissions are working a different way. At least with the read write they would have restricted to only DML operation. DDL is also happening, so it is not good actually. They should have restricted. Anyway, this is what you need to know. The read write provides all the privileges of the read roles and the ability to modify the database and all non-system collections and everything. You can modify, you can you see the execution plans also we have seen, you can list out the indexes we have seen, right? Like you can drop the collection, you can create the collection, you can modify all like data update commands you can execute, insert command you can execute, everything. More than that, a developer does not need for sure. There is more than enough for the developer to give the rights. Next, these are all another level. These are all DB permissions. We don't give it. These permissions exist in only admin database, not in the user databases, basically. So if you see, basically, we created some users in admin, some users in so and so databases. How do you list all the users? This is an interview question. How do you find show collections in the admin database? There is one. Oh, not this guy. Cannot do it. Show collection. So there is one collection. This is an interview question. They would ask you. There's something called system.users. db.system.users. Dot find. So if I go to the master data admin database, show users, we don't have users here much. Only we have Biren and Karthik. But in the lab database, we have a lot of users. So how do we know that all the users which are there on the system, wherever they created? So you have to read this collection. db.system. This is a definite interview question. You must know as a DBA. This will tell you all the users in the entire system. Basically, this is not a good practice to create the users on other databases, only admin. You see, so these many users exist, but whenever you see, when the user is, you are seeing it, lab Karthik, lab Tilak, it is giving the lab means is created, he got created on the lab, which means. So you see that next lab Anita, lab Santosh, and admin Karthik, admin. So first it is giving the database name, then username. Generally, it is a good practice that create all the users in the admin. It is up to the project, up to the client anyway. People don't follow all the standards. Anyway, the achievement is to give the permissions, give it the database level or admin level, which is also fine. And one thing in the Mongo is bad, one bad thing in the Mongo is, let me quickly show that. Show DBs. I'm in the lab. Okay, I'll use lab. I can control, I can sit in the lab, I can control the permissions on the MongoDB or SQLDB. It is possible. So that's something not good. I don't feel this is good. Create user. Okay, quickly do it. Okay, let me. Oh, we have the users in the create. Why I'm doing it? I don't need to. In the lab, we have users. So users. Let's go with Santosh itself then. db dot grant roles to user Santosh. I'm sitting in lab. Okay, I'm giving the roles. Multiple database roles I can give it. It is possible. Role read db. What was the db name? MongoDB SQLDB. And I wanted to give a role on another database also. You can do that. What I can db admin something comma db MongoDB. Right now, if Santosh go and check, if we check that what show DBs, you will see 3 databases now because he's authorized to see. But where these permissions are given, these permissions are given in the lab database. You see show users. Santosh, if you look at the Santosh, this is a bad thing in Mongo, but you cannot do anything. db.santosh, lab, the user got created in the lab, but his permissions are controlled on other database also. Is given MongoDB and admin, and which database? SQLDBA and read. Following this, I'm in the lab database, but I'm giving the rights in another database. So this is kind of messy thing can happen, but this should not be done. This is not a good practice. You give the permissions, you create the user locally on the database, keep the user permissions limited to that database. Don't cross the database. It is allowed to cross, but don't cross as a standard. Are you guys following? Either you map all the users in the admin and map the permission to user database, which is fine. But within the user database, if you are create, but give the permissions to that database only. Don't go to other databases. So what I mean to say, I created Santosh in the lab, but I'm managing the permissions using the lab for Santosh for another database also. This is not a standard. It's not at all standard if you do this. If you wanted to do the same thing, create the user in the admin database and manipulate, give the permissions on the rest of the other all user database. It is okay. And the next thing is okay is create the user on the database and give the permissions on that database only is okay. But creating the user on the user database and giving the permission another user database is not good. But it works. It works. We have, it is able to see the database, and you got the DB or DB admin on the MongoDB. You can switch it to use Mongo DB database. Do we have any collections? If you don't have, we can create. A lot of we have db.collection.find. Can you read it with a DB admin? You cannot. You can create, you can drop, reindexing. That's what we discussed. But you can create a collection if you wanted. db.create. What do we say? Cloud. Let's go with it. What are you saying? Not authorized in MongoDB execute. Oh, did it find? No. Try to oh, it is created already. Okay. Cloud. If you go and see the collection, you can see that cloud collection. If you wanted to drop something, emp drop, there's emp collection, it is dropped. So if you see this, the Santosh user got created in the lab and is able to do the manage the permissions on the MongoDB. So user database you created, and within the user database you are controlling the permission another user database. Not good. But it is allowed, but not good. This is not the standard at all. You guys catching the point or not? Say something.
Yes, Ravi. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the standard. Even if you give this kind of privileges, what is ultimate people are following or not the rules and all. You just, if you go to new project, you wanted to verify that people are following the standards or not. First thing, nobody is giving good KT. This is what you have to do. Go and check system users dot find. This will tell you everything. Come on, user pretty. This will tell you all users information, and he created in the lab. Okay, permissions are limited to lab. Good. People are following things. And if you go to this user, lab is lab, good enough. So like that you can verify. So here if you look at lab, but the permissions are handled on different databases. This is not good. So people are not following. This is a messy environment. We can easily understand that this is kind of things are given, not at all good. Not at all good, basically. So when you go to the new project, you have to analyze yourself whether things are good or not. People are, if things are in really correct place, then someone is really expert we have in the Mongo. That's what it will give an idea. Anyway, backup role, if you wanted to give it to someone, we don't give it. Basically, these roles exist in only admin database. Okay, db dot get roles. Get roles. We did something right. Show built-in roles. Get roles. What we have done, I've discussed this point. Show built-in roles. I'll just copy paste. I'm typing incorrectly. These are the roles exist in the admin database. But user database, you don't have these many roles, very limited. If you go to this is also I discussed user lab. The same command if I run on the user database, very limited command. This is user database level roles. DB admin, DB owner, and enable charting, read, write, user admin. We discussed all of this in detail just now, practically. And if you wanted to use admin in the admin database, we have a different privileges that is specific to that database only. And if you see, we have the backup. We have the backup role, and you can take the backup if someone is given on the particular database. And you have a restore also. So if example, read any database, write any database, you don't play with these roles with anyone. Maybe read any database is good, but read any database, write any database is not good. Read, write. So let's do this. So come on, I'll use lab. Okay, let's intentionally do this. Show collections to show this. Sorry, show users. Santosh permissions. I'll take all his permissions for sake of our discussion. So at one go, I can take all the permissions. I don't want to type, not to waste time. I'll pick up the command. We did it just now. This. Why? Because typing will take time, right? So that is the reason I'm taking it. So now I'll modify it. Role. What role? Lab. I'll leave it lab. I'll take out every role if we read SQLDB. If you're not getting, just let me know. Don't keep quiet. If you're not following. Role, next role, rewrite lab. Which is fine. Next role, DB admin MongoDB. Following, right, everyone? Say something. Following, not following, say something, guys.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's not for myself, right? Right. Now you see, show users, Santosh permissions are all lost. Now I'll wanted to make him what he can read now. If you go and see what he can show DBC, what he can see only lab. Now I'll make him read any database. That's very bad thing. Grant. I'm going to grant. Right, here it is. So very bad, but we will do it. I mean, see, giving too much unnecessary roles is definitely bad thing. Read any database. What happens? It is there in the only in the admin. Okay, you have this role in the admin only. If I do this, this guy can read previously only one database show DBs. Now we can see all databases. See whatever the database you have it, and all databases you'll go and read. That's what read any or read write any and DB admin any means, user admin any means. 4 roles we have. Read any database, read write any database, DB admin any database, user admin any database. If user admin any database, it's equivalent to root. If you give a user admin any database, he can give himself a root basically. Why? Because user admin database control the permissions on all databases. So that's something you have to be very careful when you're giving it. Read any database, write any database, all they are not good. They are not good to give the permissions to anyone. If you give it, it is very dangerous. Are you guys following? Let me give
Yes, yeah,
y-
Ravi.
user admin any database. How big mistake it is if you are giving it. User admin any database. Right. Now Santosh is very limited in action, but I have given the full rights to him. What he'll do, he got the user admin any database. Okay. So if we check his permissions, it is gone. Right. This is he got the user admin database. What he's trying to do, he himself give the root role. That's a very bad thing, huh? But that's how it is. Root role means what? Everything. He can do everything, Stosh. And role root db admin. Anywhere you can sit and give the rights and get the rights from admin. Come on, what the role could not find. Where I am, just a minute. Is there in the lab. Santosh, actually. Root admin, right? See now, this is something disaster, I would say. He got the root. Who? Santosh. Who? How did he got? He himself is given. He himself. User admin database. We have seen user admin on database. He can himself give the DB owner rights. If you are giving the user admin database at server level, he can make himself root or any permission whatever you wanted at server level. So that's something absolutely bad. Is it clear to everyone? You need to, I mean, I wanted to clear on these roles, like right, is it a user or admin? You should be clear on this one now. Let me know if not clear. User admin database, just now we have seen. Read, write any database, you can write any database on all databases. If you get that right on the admin database, these roles are exist in admin only. You don't have that in any other database. So this is how it is, guys. Securities, we are done almost. So except, let's come back to this. Custom roles. Let's talk about the custom roles as last discussion for us. What is custom role? MongoDB upgrade is tomorrow topic. I'll finish the upgrades tomorrow. Today, let's finish the last custom role. I'll keep, I have this anyway, custom role. I'll explain in detail, don't worry. Keep this. Custom roles are equally important to understand. So, custom roles. See, if I give, you should know by understood things. So, I'll use a different user to talk about this. This is the last discussion anyway. Use lab itself. So, just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Oh, sorry, guys. Don't mind. So, if you see, Tilak has read-write privileges on this. Rewrite means what he can do. He can do everything: insert, update, delete, create, all that he can do. I don't want that. I don't want that this guy to do. So I'll take out permission from him. Revoke. Right here it is. So I'm going to take out the permission from Tilak. But still he is a valid user anyway. User is valid but no permissions. I'll take it as a read write. Gone. Show users. Is still listed. What happened? What did I execute?
You took out from Santosh.
Oh god. Sorry. Don't mind. I should have changed it to good catch. Very good catch. Tilak. Right. Tilak still exists, but you don't have privilege. Now we can connect. I'm trying to connect with Tilak. Mongo port 27018 and user Tilak password. I'm giving it, not an issue. We don't give it, but I talked about how we don't give it kind of authentication database lab. Oh, sorry, I given the wrong password. Ravi at the rate 1234. He is a valid user. Show DBs. You can see it. Oh, you don't have any role. That is why it is not. Is not seeing it. Even that also. You don't have any role to see the database also. So now I wanted to make him only insert, only update. That's it. He should not create a collection. He should not, destroy a collection. But only specific privilege I wanted to give. That's where the custom role will come into picture. So let me explain. Create a role. We are creating a role. The role name is DBA, and the privileges. And privileges what you are giving on the lab database, on all collections. You are giving the insert permission, update permission, create index, create collection. No, I don't want to give the create collection example. Let me, anyway, I'll copy this role. I'll tell you a separate notepad. I'll modify according to our requirement. So this is the role. I don't want to make him to create a collection. I'm taking out. I don't want to create index also. I'm taking out. Okay. I wanted to make him only insert and update on all collections of the database. On all. And at the same time, we can read it. Read is fine because you need to read it, right? What collections are there to see to do the action? Read must be given. See, without reading, how can you can insert an update? You need to see the collections first. So it is a custom role we are creating a role DBA. That DBA role is holding. It is letting him to do only insert update and all. See, it is a DB is a lab and collection. If I mention only one collection, you can do insert update only on that collection, but the rest you can read it. I'm not mentioning any collection because you can do an all both the way we will see it. I'm creating a role using the admin account. I had to use the admin account. Use lab. Right, role got created. If you see show role, show what was that? Show db dot get roles. I always type that wrong. Show built in roles one. Come on, what? Show built I small, I guess. Maybe. Okay, that's correct. So now you see the extra role, the manual role we created. See this? Manual role, the DBA. That role I'm giving it to Tilak. Right? Come on, where is Grant? All right, Grant. DB role on the lab database. Sorry, no, Santosh. It is done. Now show DBs, you can see that DB only lab. Okay, what privilege I have given to him? If you look at what privilege and given in the collection, insert update. He can insert specific rights we have given. Show collections you can do because we have given the read. You must test. Okay, show collections. Right. DB dot. You can do the show collection. If he is trying to create a collection, no, he cannot because we did not allow it. Okay. Sorry. What? Created collection? What release I have given here? Read. Insert update. Update will let us to create a collection. Nah. Does he holding any permissions? Authenticated and has a read. DP role. DP role we have given only update. How come he's creating a collection? This is not intended. DP dot drop is not authorized. With update we can create a collection actually. I'm not sure actually. Is it so? Mongo is not good. It did not control the permissions well. Come on, with update you can create a collection. Maybe. I'm not sure, guys. Insert. They did not handle the permissions well. Seriously. They have to improve a lot. Insert is done anyway. DB dot. Let's insert. Something like that. DB lab 2 dot find. Okay. I'm trying to. What else?
Can you be able to delete that also in the document?
Oh yeah, the update will give that. Oh, delete we did not give it, right? That's good point you brought up. Yeah, let's try. Update will give that to privilege or not. Even I'm not sure because it is created a collection. I'm doubting. Good point you brought up. It should not. I feel not addressed. Yeah, only can update and insert because insert also is explicitly given. Insert you can do update. You cannot remove it. Good enough. Good point. But update is letting you to create a collection. That is also there with it. So explicitly, you don't need to give this create collection. I have given create collection. If you are giving the update permission means create collection is given. Create index. Let's try to do with this update. So db dot lab12 create index and the S number. No, it is not authorized to create index at least. You can with update, you can also create a collection. That is a combination of update permission itself. Okay. So this is how you can only insert an update right now. You cannot drop the collection. You cannot remove the data from it. You are controlling the permissions. So by default with the read write, you can do everything, but that everything is not good. So you definitely have to create the custom roles and control the user permissions basically. So one thing, db dot get role. No, this guy is not author. Just a minute. I'm verifying something. db lab db dot get role. Right. Built-in false is built-in false. But the thing is, the very bad thing in Mongo is custom roles. What are the things we have given with it? It won't show. It's a very big drawback actually. See, it is giving read good enough, but where are the custom things what we have defined? It won't show that. That's really bad. Because inherit role is read. Privileges what we mentioned. This is missing part. And I did not know how to check this quickly. Give me a few minutes. We're done. We're done. This is last discussion. How to find custom role privileges list in Mongo. Manage custom roles. See, in terms of security, MongoDB is not too good, I would say. List MongoDB users. No, grant roles. Create user, assign the roles. MongoDB authentication. They're not talking about it at all. Privileges. How do I know what roles is given to this? Built-in role. Each privilege pairs resource with every privileged action. The built-in role to assign it. Okay. Privileged action. Okay, so I'll try to check it out. Even you guys also try to check it out. How do we find custom roles, privilege details? This privileges what we mentioned with the role. This must be given somewhere. That is not it is showing up. So let me explain other roles and then close this off. See what it is doing with the read. See with the read, insert, update permission on a single DB and all collection. This is what you have to create a role. The role is letting us to create a like a what lab database and all collections. If you mention collection name, the role applies to one particular collection only, not an all. That is why I kept blank. And what you can do on this one, insert, update, create index and collection. So you cannot drop the data, right? You cannot drop the data and you cannot rebuild the indexes. You are restricting the permissions anyway. And the read must be given associated with it. To do the insert update, you need to read it. The next part, writer roles in all databases. Don't ever try to do this. You don't need to go to all databases. Why? Because read any database, it will give you on all database. The custom role does not make sense anyway. Because read, write any database itself is an all. So you need to create a custom database and give it all anyway. It's not a meaningful role. Where is the other role? Right, this one. With the read, insert, update permission, a single DB in all collections. Read, okay, this one with read only, insert, update. Okay, good. This next meaningful. So if you see, we are creating a role name. I'll call it as MongoDB, something what MongoDB. Privileges on all databases, on all collections. Blank means resource blank means on all DB, on all collections. Insert, update, create index, create collection. He is doing all of this. No, I don't want to do the update. Create index, I don't want to let him. I don't want to let him create collection. Create collection anyway, he is getting through the update. What he can do with this, we just seen. He can create a collection, he can insert the data, but he cannot remove the data. As long as he's not removing the data, we are in safe hands. Inserting the data is good enough. Update anyway, they need it. create index is also, we will give the privilege. Why? Because data must be, they have to read get the good optimized plan. So for that, index must be given. Read any database. So when he's doing and he must read any database. That's it. This role makes sense. On all server level, you wanted to give the privilege. This is how you control the permissions to specific action using the custom roles only. Mongo inbuilt roles are not good for everything basically, because it is giving the too much privilege on everything. That should not happen. Right? Understood? Say something.
Yeah, yes, Ravi.
Yeah, that's all with the security, guys. Tomorrow I'll pick up the upgrades. Okay, I'll share the document.
Tomorrow